cool to introduce someone who, through this fandom, has become a rock star. Truth be told, I was the very first Evil Regal. Yeah, because I knew that she was a superstar before you did. She exudes class and talent and heart, which is all any of us could ever hope to be. So we've all chosen a great role model in Lana Parrilla. She's badass, she's a great human being. So let's give it up, Jersey, for our evil queen! The queen of all the world, Lana Parrilla!
Again?
Yeah, let's do it again. Queen of all the realms. But I'll tell you something, let me tell you something. Like, you are a class superstar though, because your talent is always matched by your heart. You know, and that's why you're elevated in the proper way. There's only a few people that I've known that can match your talent, just pure acting talent, and there's no one I know that matches your concern and love for other humans. And animals too. It's the animal thing that really is your love of your pup and my love of my pups, you know? But it's like funny because I just think that I get so much joy in your success because you're badass.
Thank you, Lee, my God.
I love you, Lana.
Come home with me. Here, I'm giving you a gummy bear.
Yeah, cheers. Enjoy your time. I'll be back all too soon. Try not to boo me when I come back.
I love you.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, one more time, give it up for Lana!
That's awesome, guys. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, blushing like little gummy bears.
Yum. Can I have one?
Oh gosh. I don't even know anymore. I'm so happy, genuinely happy. This has been such a great weekend, one that I've been looking forward to for quite some time. This convention, Creation Convention, is a very special one for many reasons. All that you experienced last night and all that we're experiencing today and yesterday. I just love the promoters, everyone that put this together, the volunteers, the band, and Lee, and our MC, and the cast that comes up here, and the dedication and the love to all of you, and your dedication and love to us. Thank you so much for being with us again at this reunion. We're going to miss you. And I hope it's just been really awesome and special for all of you, as it has been for me, and I'm speaking for everyone else, for them as well. So I love you and thank you, and I know we're going to get to questions, but I just wanted to take a moment because I know I ramble on, and then it's like, you have 2 seconds to say bye. I'm like, so I wanted to open up with gratitude. Thank you.
We love you.
All right, Lana, shut up. Let's get to the questions. Hi.
Hi. So I'm missing Trick or Treat for the OneCon, so I was wondering, what is your favorite Halloween / trick or treating costume as a kid?
So I never bought a costume as a kid. My family never bought me costumes. I never really asked why. It could have been financial. I think it was be creative, Lana, figure out what you want to be. And so I was often a gypsy. I was often I'm like a homeless person, which sounds really weird. I like to dress up as boys, guys. When I was younger, I was like, I don't know why, but I was often a gypsy, and I liked that. And recent, not too recent, I would say about 20 years ago, time just flies by. It just felt like yesterday. I was dating this guy, and I don't really tell the story. I was working on Spin City. Maybe it was less than 20 years ago. Nearly. And I decided that I would dress up as a Vietnam vet. But like a homeless Vietnam vet, which is, I don't know why. And there's nothing funny about it. It was just, I love playing characters. I like being, like I was Harpo Marx one year. And in character, though, I never broke character. In fact, a friend of mine said, "Could you just say something?" And I honked a horn. Because I would not break character. And so this year, my boyfriend at the time was introducing me to all of his friends. And he said, come, I'm going to meet everyone for the first time. And I was like, okay, yeah, sure. So I went to Salvation Army and I bought all these clothes, shoes, underwear, socks, you name it. Prosthetics for my face, a wig, a beard, a mustache, eyebrows. And I had the makeup department from Spin City. God, I wish I had this picture. Maybe one day I'll post it. And I had them do my hair and makeup. Now, I was working with Charlie Sheen on Spin City, and so when I saw him just recently in London, he was like, I remember when you showed up looking like some weird homeless guy. And I said, oh yeah, that's when I was meeting Mike, my ex, his friends for the first time. And and so I showed up to the party, and I was so nervous. And I walk in, and everyone kind of looked at me like, who is this strange guy that's like walking into our party right now? My sister was there. My sister even went, oh, did you see that strange guy who just walked in? And then Mike, he looked at me and he knew immediately that it was me. And he was livid. Pissed off. Like, really upset. So I walked over to my sister and put my arm around her and I went, hey, what's up? And she was like, Lana? Yeah, she goes, oh my God, oh my God. So I stayed in character the whole time. Mike was very upset. I literally met like 10 of his friends for the first time like that. And I know this is a really long story, but it's really funny. And that was probably one of my favorite costumes because I never broke character. I tried to kiss him with my prosthetics and everything, and he was really like, no, take it off. Like, I can't even look at you. You're hideous. I'm gonna find that photo and post it. It's really bad. But that was probably, I wasn't that much of a kid, but that was probably my favorite costume.
Thank you.
You're welcome. That was like 15 minutes of this. Sorry guys. Only about 15 minutes worth of a story, but anyhow.
Hi, Lana.
Hi.
Last year in Burbank, you read the Evil Queen's execution speech, and when you were done, you said you joked about how you wanted to do that all day. And I have
I
a
just
speech
did that.
from the pilot. I was wondering if you wanted to read it.
A speech from the pilot.
Yeah, when she crashed Snow and Shiny's Zone.
When I did what?
Crash the wedding.
Oh God. I mean, I don't know. Do we have time? Does anyone care if I don't get to your questions? I mean, God, I wish I would have asked a question. I would have gotten you first. I would have told that long story. Okay. Sorry I'm late. I added that, by the way. That's on here. My gift to you is this happy day. But tomorrow my real work begins. You've made your vows, now I make mine. Soon, everything you love, everything all of you love, will be taken away from you forever. And out of your suffering will rise my victory. I shall destroy your happiness if it is the last thing I do. rabbit, guys. Hi.
Hi, do you like Disney? And if you do, who's your favorite Disney character?
Ursula. She's my favorite villain, I would say Dumbo.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Someone asked me today if, what was the question about the elephant and the dog? Who asked it? What was it? Would I rather have a dog-sized elephant or an elephant-sized dog? And I said I would rather have an elephant-sized dog with a crocodile heart. Next.
I think I can speak for the fandom when I say we were so proud of you last night for coming on stage.
Thank
Can you tell us about that? How was your night? How did it go? Did you have any liquid courage?
you. No liquid courage. No. Didn't even have liquid celebration. I needed to get up this morning. It was really exhilarating. I've never done anything like that before, and it was fun to get to feel my heart pounding. You know, I do this often in front of you all and stand up here and talk and talk and talk and talk. But it was really cool. And you know, we've been talking about how we were going to introduce it, and I thought it would be fun to do the video and kind of confuse you guys and what the hell's going on? Usually after the conga, I'm just we're done. But I said, no, let it play. And then when enough happens, it's perfect. He goes, enough! And then the band starts, and it was just oh, I have it in my, I see it. So I was excited about that part. And then I was worried, oh my God, am I gonna crack my voice? What's it gonna do? And then coming out here and seeing all of you, I was, thank you. It was I was there was this moment of I gotta sing this song, I gotta perform. Holy crap, look at everybody. This is so cool. I'm singing a song, oh my God, I gotta sing the song. I can't see anyone. They're rock stars. Awesome. Wait a second. And then it was just oh, have fun. And I just had fun. I had so much fun, and I was annoyed that I didn't have another 10 songs to sing to you guys. Because I feel like it birthed something in me. I was ooh, what did this get? Right now. So it was exhilarating. It was such a joy, and thank you so much for your love and support. It was a perfect place for me to do something like that, because, they always say, as a performer and you're acting and you walk into these rooms, you don't know who the hell's there. Everyone's sitting there with their judgmental looks and, ready to say, yeah, next. And this room is full of love. And so feeling that and having that was the most beautiful support, that I thought, I'm so loved here.
We love you!
Thank you so much. I love you all too. And I just thought, if I'm going to do this for the first time anywhere, it's going to be here with the people that I feel so supported by. And so thank you. And thank you for holding that beautiful space for me. I had such a great time, and I wanted to give you that gift on this happy day. Thank you. Hi.
Hi, Lana.
Hi.
Sorry, I'm really nervous.
It's okay. You got it.
What do you think draws people to Regina as opposed to the other characters?
I think that, we always talk about good can come from broken, and I think that Regina is fractured, and she's experienced a lot of strife, a lot of hardship. She's experienced loss of love, misunderstandings, not being seen, not being heard, her desires, things that she wants. It's her mother didn't care. I think a lot of us, I include myself, because I can totally relate to Regina in many ways, and I think all of us can. I think that she just is a pure example of someone who has struggled, has come from hardship, and is also just striving to have a better life. And I think that that's really inspiring. And, it's if she can do it, we can do it. It's that kind of feeling. and being different and not fitting in. And what do you do with that? And how do you handle that? And she really showed us some interesting ways on how she handled that. Some not so great, some we don't want to emulate. But as she started sort of waking up to making, different decisions that weren't impacting other people's lives negatively, but that were really about her own personal growth. I mean, I think that's where the true inspiration lies in that character.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Hi, my name is Sydney, and my question for you is, if a young actor came up to you and asked for acting advice, what would you say?
I would say, do you have 17 hours? I would say that do theater, to really, really sink your teeth into some theater. I would say go to some drama school or curate your own sort of teachers if you can't afford that, or if you don't get lucky and you can't get in, or your grades suck. Find a way to study your craft. I think that's the most important thing. It's like you can't become a lawyer unless you do the work, right? And I think acting is, you can. Some people get really lucky. Some people are just gifted. But I think that if you're gifted and you have the knowledge, that makes you even a better artist. So learn your craft is my advice.
Thank you.
Hi.
I wanted to know how it's Kwanzaa, your husband.
Kwanzaa, last time I saw her, which was I think last year, she was great. But she stayed there, to my knowledge. I mean, I haven't checked up on her as of late, but she was still there, which I thought was interesting. Unless you know that she left. Yeah, the last time I checked, she was still there. I think she went through, so Kwanzaa is an elephant in Kenya, and she witnessed at 3 months old her mother and sister being slaughtered. So she literally was wouldn't let anyone touch her, except for the caretakers at the orphanage, and I was the first person, outsider, to touch her here that she allowed to touch her. It took a couple of days, but she allowed me to put my palm right here between her eyes. And I was so touched and so moved by her. And I was also just wow, often we don't think animals have memory. They do. They really, really do. And I was really, I had no idea that at 3 years old, which is when I met her, that she was still traumatized from what she saw at 3 months old. It left a real impact there. Something you didn't know about elephants.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Hi.
Hi. So when you started shooting Once Upon a Time, you had to move to Canada and left your friends and family. And I just moved to Canada now, and all my families and friends are in Brazil, and it feels very lonely. And how do you deal with it
Yeah.
at the time?
Where in Canada?
North Bay.
Upstate?
North Bay.
North Bay. I don't know where.
Ontario.
Oh, it's cold.
Yeah.
Oh gosh, even more. Yeah. I don't want to attach a word to it, so I'm not going to say. But have you made friends?
No.
Well, what are your interests?
Well, I am at a film school, so
Okay,
I
so
like movies.
okay. So maybe the thing to do is start a movie night with people in your school. Say, I'm going to start a movie night on a Wednesday night from 7 to 9, 7 to 10. Everyone come over, I'm making popcorn, and start with a few people. And that way you're doing something you love, and then you're also making new friends.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Hi, Lana.
Hi.
My name is Abby, And my question is, I know that there's a lot of like intricacies in like ripping out the hearts on the show. I was wondering if you could show us how that process works.
I've done this a few times. It's unfortunate my best model, Lola, isn't here because she was the best of it. She actually took her heart back. It was funny. It was really funny. She's so clever. You know, it's really not that. It's basically like, I think you're very smart. Because you've seen this before, and I know your tricks. I'm very smart too. All right, since I already know what you're up to, and we all know, come on up.
How did you do this?
She's like, just so, a man named Kevin usually is holding a heart somewhere behind that podium. And then I do, and you gotta leave a little space in between this area and that area. And then I'm like, what'd you say? You want me to rip out your heart? That's the Brooklyn Queen coming out, right? Right? Is that what you said? Whoa! And then Kevin puts the heart in my hand, which Kevin's on a break, clearly. And then I go, when I pull out, I want to see your best performance. Don't just make this about me. You got it? Ready? You want me to take your heart out? Fine! Alright, we'll take that. So that's really how it works. Kevin puts the heart in your hand and then you rip it out and then it's like, okay, freeze, stop, go. Action cut, you got it, moving on. Next question.
Hi.
Hi.
What's your favorite part of meeting fans?
Getting to rip their hearts out. Hearing their stories, and you know, there's rarely any time for that, and I know how hard that is for everyone that comes here and wishes that they had more time. And I think this would be like a 6-day convention if we got to hear everybody's story. But you know, I like hearing people's stories, and I like the meet and greets too. Like today, we had a really interesting one. I asked everyone some questions and got to learn a lot about them this time. Hi.
Hello. I was wondering, what was it like adjusting to the new season 7 cast?
Oh, it was strange and awesome. You know, it was what it was. Is it made it feel like it did my entire career, which is some shows that I've done were so shortly lived, that you know, you kind of have to just like, oh, it's a new crew, it's a new. I liked it. I liked it because I liked that I was meeting new people, and it felt like I was playing a different character, but not. Excuse me, oh my God, gummy bear. But I also loved, like, I'm sorry? Oh, I heard something. I loved the new characters, but I also missed some of the old characters. There was something familiar, you know, that was missing, and then yet something really new that was cool.
Thank you.
Yeah. Hi.
Hi. My question, my friends and I want to know what it's like to be a badass.
Empowering. And, yeah, pretty freaking cool. I don't give myself that title, but I accept it, thank you. I take it. Great compliment. Hi.
Hello, Lana. How are you?
I'm great. Thank you. How are you?
I'm good. I have a question. Well, first I wanted to say, as the mayor and as Regina, you were very good at what you do.
Thank you.
Very good.
Thank you.
So those dresses that you wore, they were to die for. Did you keep any of them?
Maybe.
Really curious about that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Hi. So I think most of us can agree that you have the most amazing costumes.
whether it was just a simple pantsuit or your elaborate dresses. Which one was your favorite and which one was your least favorite? Which one did you see?
My favorite was the rubber sweaty one, and what? It was third season, second or third episode, and it was like this, it had this beautiful plunging neckline. Yeah, that I loved. But it was worn in the middle of July, so I was dripping with sweat. Dripping wet with sweat. There we go. Go ahead, do something with that. Let's get I'm so lighthearted about this stuff I don't care anymore. You guys do the craziest things with things I say. I'm like, whatever. Which is a great attitude to have, by the way, with social media. That and that one. I don't forgot the second part. My least favorite. Whichever one I couldn't breathe in, which was a lot of them, but there was one that had so many rhinestones at the collar, and I don't remember it because I probably deleted it off my desktop. I dragged that image, and I was like, can't ever look at that again. But it literally, like, my hair would get caught in it, and my neck, so I was holding my head forward like this all the time, so I developed a lot of neck and shoulder pain. So that happened with those collars that were rhinestones. You want to look at any of the rhinestone ones, you'll know that I'm in extreme pain wearing that costume. Yeah.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Hi.
Hi. If you weren't cast Regina, who would you be on the show?
I don't think I would be on the show. I mean, I don't know. I don't want to be anyone else.
Meant to be.
There isn't any other character on that show that I would want to be. People have asked me that question. There's not one other character that I would want to be other than the one I was.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, she was my favorite. Not only because I got to play her, but because I got to play her. Hi.
Hi. So yesterday during the panels, like Karen and Rose were saying they knew almost nothing about the characters, didn't really know who they were auditioning for. So during your audition process, how much did you know about Regina?
Oh, I knew exactly what I was auditioning for. It became a very different process after the pilot. After the pilot episode, things became more secretive because there was more to protect. But in the first episode, you had to, I auditioned for the Evil Queen, Regina.
So you had a full-on character description?
Yes.
Awesome.
Yeah. Yeah. Full on. It's different. When I auditioned for Lost, I read a script that they wrote just for the audition piece, and I got one part, and I think they mixed it up somehow. I was supposed to play the blonde girl, and I got to play the other one. I don't even know what happened. It was confusing. But I read for the other one, it felt like, and then all of a sudden there was this other. So who knows? I think that process, the Adam and Eddie and Lost, that because they came from Lost, and there was a lot to protect, and there was a lot of leaks and stuff. So by the time those girls came on, it was so much later, and it was the reboot, and we had this huge fandom, and so there was a lot to protect. So I would assume that they had no idea who they were playing. That makes a lot of sense. Hi.
Hello, my queen. I just missed you last year, so I'm so excited right now. I didn't get to ask you my question, so I just want to let you know how much I love you, and you're my favorite actress, and I love Regina as well. And I wanted to know if you have any more upcoming shows or movies. As much as I love watching my reruns, I would love to see some new material come from you.
Maybe soon. I'm taking my time. I said this in a meet and greet, and I don't want to bog you down with this because it's sometimes I can just ramble on. But I've taken some time. When you play a character like that, that's so iconic and has had such an impact on so many people, you got to think, how do you beat that, right? And when you're thinking about career, you're like, well, I don't want to take a step back. I can take a step sideways, or I want to take a step forward, ideally. So it's not the easiest thing. She's one of the best TV characters that have ever been created. You know, so it's a challenge. It's a little bit of a challenge, and so my team and I are really just kind of like looking for the right next thing, and developing, which I mentioned this morning at the gold panel. There's a lot to that, and that's another long process. So I'm developing some things for myself that hopefully will sell, and if they do, everybody will see.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yeah, and it won't be anything like the Queen.
Hi, Lana.
Hi.
So it's very easy to be self-deprecating, but I was wondering if there's something that you genuinely like about yourself.
Yes, I think I'm a very good-hearted person. I am not a vengeful person. I am not out to hurt anyone. I am a great communicator. I like to problem solve. I don't like things to fester. I'm very direct. And that's all I'll say about myself right now. Otherwise, I'm gonna be like, damn, bro. Why you saying all these things about yourself?
Hi, I'm Taylor.
Hi, nice to see you.
Nice to see you too. Your character was one of the characters that really got me so intrigued about the show, especially your evolution from the evil queen to what you were taking care of Henry during the storybook saga. And I just wanted to know, what was your favorite part in that character development to play? Was it like playing the evil queen side, or did you like being Regina in that modern world more?
I mean, that's a really good question, and I think that there are a lot of different times in her sort of growth trajectory that I really enjoyed playing. I would say I really loved when she was just this evil bitch. I don't even know if I can say that word anymore. I feel like I'm not even allowed to say that, but I really liked that. I think there was something really fun about it. However, you can't stay in that, because then it's just one tone and gets kind of, all right, we've seen it. So I also really enjoyed the moments when things were where she was struggling and she didn't know what her next move was going to be, and she didn't know what she was going to do. I loved the moments when she was most vulnerable and discovering who she is and what's going on with her, and the fear of losing her son and family. And I love the moments when she makes amends with everyone and takes ownership for her wrongdoings. I think that's very courageous. That's probably some of my most favorite moments, because those are like the most heroic moments in life, when you can take ownership for your wrongdoings. And I love the moment when she confronts herself and her darkness and her dark side, and learns to love and accept it and embraces that part of her.
Awesome, thank you.
You're welcome.
Hi, Lana. I'm
Hi.
Lana.
Hi.
You said earlier that you like to communicate. So I was wondering, what are your favorite New York slangs, and what is your favorite word to say in Spanish?
I don't think my New York slangs are really appropriate. I'm serious. I grew up saying words I shouldn't have been saying at 5. So all those words that can get me in trouble being up here, or turn into some weird gift. I don't know Spanish words. I mean, mariposa sounds so pretty. And they are.
Hi. So I actually have a callback audition coming up tomorrow.
Congratulations.
Thank you. For my school's musical. So I was wondering if you had any tips to help me prepare, or stand out,
Yeah, I would say just make sure you don't smoke or drink tonight. It's true. I mean, you're young, so people like you differently when you're younger. But I would make sure you get 8 hours of sleep. Make sure you eat something that doesn't have any dairy in it tomorrow morning. I would take a nice steam shower if you could, and to do some breathing exercises and really focus on your character and do a little relaxation beforehand, and most importantly, have fun.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Hi.
Hi there. What was your most challenging role or scene, and how did you overcome it?
I faced it. There's no getting out of it. You're on. Okay. I would say probably the second episode, killing my father. Yeah, because I'd never worked on a green stage before, and that space was very, 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 very big, and it didn't feel as intimate as it did when I was rehearsing in my apartment. It was like, where are the walls? There are no walls. Where's my? Is this the room? Where? I don't see anything. That was probably one of the most challenging scenes from a technical standpoint, and then also because there wasn't a real environment to work in, and I was in a fishbowl. I had to really use my imagination and build those walls. And then the other challenging scene just fleeted. Hold on. It's gone. Sorry, I can't remember it. I had it and then it just went away.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Hi.
Hi. So, once you started your career, what was the most challenging part into getting into acting and trying to be a different character?
Wait, what do you mean?
Like, once you got into acting, what was one of the most challenging parts?
Oh. I mean, I don't know. I would say, Regina's one, she was challenging. I would say, I just feel like there's moments that were challenging. I think it's challenging to get certain parts you want. That's challenging at times. But I like challenges, so I don't know. I faced them like I did last night. Yeah. So, yeah. Sorry, not the best answer to your question.
Hi, my name is Diana, and I was just wondering what your favorite arc of Regina and then story arc of Once Upon a Time was.
I think I've answered. I don't know if maybe I didn't answer, but I would say when Regina confronts her dark side. That's my favorite arc in that sense, for her own personal story. And I love the story between Regina and her mother, in that whole arc. Overall on the show, I think Snow and Regina, because that's how it all started, right? It all started with this betrayal and hating one another, or predominantly Regina hating Snow, and then coming around and loving each other and being family. It's pretty cool.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Hi. I want to know what's your biggest dream and what's next for you, if it's going to be happening.
Oh, that's a good question. I don't know. I'm working towards it. Secrets. I have secret dreams. I don't like to really put them out there. I'm superstitious.
That's good.
But yeah, but I am working towards those dreams. And your lips to God's ears, it all comes true.
That's correct.
Thank you.
Hey.
Hi.
I'm just curious if you have any advice for stage fright.
Just get on that stage. Just get up there and do it. Seriously.
I'm scared.
Yeah, I know. You can come up here if you want.
Oh.
But that's really the only way to overcome it, is to face it and do it. Honestly.
Like if I came up there, I would just freak out.
Then freak out. You're not going to die.
Are you sure? No.
Yeah, just come up and show your costume. It's really cool. I like what you did with it. And no, you don't. Oh, who cares? Sorry, I thought you said something else. Yeah, come on, look at her. She doesn't have her boots on, but just look at her ankles up. Look at her and show. Let me see your lace on your. Great. And here, do you want to show them your other arm? Yeah, and look at the buttons. Look how cool that is, and your makeup looks beautiful. Thank you for coming up here. Yeah, but it's not survived. No, you did.
My name is Sam, and we know that everyone's at a different point of their lives, and they're overcoming their own obstacles, and experiencing different stories. So I was wondering, what's like a life lesson or reminder that you keep close to heart and you try to remind yourself every day?
Well, that the sun's going to come up tomorrow, so tomorrow's another day. That's always going to happen. That's something you can guarantee. So, even on those hard days, you're going to have another opportunity tomorrow, God willing, that you will, to change it. I try to break the brain patterns often, because sometimes it gets and I think we all know what that's like. So try to, when that happens, be active.
Thank you so much.
Mm-hmm.
Hello, Lana.
Hi.
As an actor, have you ever lied about a certain skill to get a role? And if so, what was it?
I think I lied about projects I did. But that's early on, I made up titles and parts. Yeah, I did this movie, student film. Where is it? OUAT. So I did that. Skills? No. I'm pretty skilled actually in many things.
Thank
So,
you.
Yeah, I haven't lied about my skills.
I have lied before, that's why I asked.
Yeah, that's cool. I lied about things, like projects. I did this commercial. It got cut out. I don't know where it was, but I did it. Yeah, that was a long time ago.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Hi. Hi.
I was wondering, as a fan, since season 7 was so polarizing, especially at the beginning, now that you're a year and a half removed from the show, do you think the show should have ended after season 6 rather than start a new storyline?
Oh, that's a very good question. I'm actually really glad that this show continued. Excuse me. It's all the juices I've been drinking today. I think that everyone, including myself, would have loved to see this show continue even further beyond the 7th season. And I think, for the fans, there's everyone really loved the show. I mean, that's why you're all here. And I think it would have been really great for everyone to see where the next, the reboot would have ended up. I think there were high hopes that we could have remained in the family hour on Sundays. Maybe that would have helped. Maybe that would have changed things. I know there's a lot of families that missed watching the show with their loved ones. And I think if this show went on for another 5-6 years in the reboot, I think it would have been really great. So, no, I wish it would have continued.
Thank you.
Yeah. That was a good question. Thank you. Hi.
Hi, Lana.
Hi.
My name is Aaliyah, and I wanted to know if there was an option for a fan to have lunch with you, would you do it and keep in touch with them afterwards?
She's like, because I won that auction, and so therefore, are we hanging out after? 3 weeks after our lunch? I don't know. That's a very strange question for me to answer because there are so many people that I've known that I have in my life that I've known for so long, including family, and I often don't get to see. And so I'm very selective with whom I bring into my life because if I can't be a good friend to them and I can't be available, then what's the point? You know, I don't really believe in like half-ass relationships. And a lot of my friends I've had for 25 to 30 years. Just aged myself. You all know how I am. It's true. And then there's my family. So I don't really like bring too many people in. And with fans, I love my fans. But I also know, like, if I happen to get close to one, others get really upset and they feel left out. And they go, well, why then not me? And I've come up against those questions before, and it just becomes this really hard thing. So, I hope that answers your question. I'm not gonna give you the why or the end answer. Thank you.
Hi, Lana.
Hi.
I just want to start off with my friends Eric, Ashley, and Neil were unable to make it. They passed away a few years ago, so I just wanted to say from them that they loved you so much. And my question for you is, who was your idol growing up?
So I'm so sorry.
Thank you.
About your friends that have passed. My idol growing up. I mean, a lot of them were actors like Meryl Streep and probably her family, like relatives as well. Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Hi, Lana. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Good. My question is, when do you feel you got your big break in the business? And secondly, what advice would you give to someone who's just trying to break out into TV and film like myself?
I feel like my big break came from Once Upon a Time. Even though I had like 14 years of a career prior to that, but I feel like this is the one show that really put me out there in a way that none of the others had. But my first break was Spin City. That was the first time I was like on a television show as a regular. And that was huge for me. So I want to celebrate all the other jobs I had prior to Once. But what advice do I give to a new actor? Honestly, I said this earlier, but I really think theater is a really good place to go, and you do it in the right places, like over this, right over there. New York's right there. If you're here, right there, that's where you go. Honestly, I think that you, as an actor, are probably going to get the most out of playing, doing theater and plays first to really hone, and plus people are going to see you. And I hear doing theater in LA is also really important because you get a lot of industry people that are showing up and casting directors that are looking for new talent. So do that as well. I know it sounds like everyone's like, no, I want the easy way in. I just want to be on TV, or I want to do a movie, and continue to do all those things, because whatever you're doing in the theater is only going to make you better at all that other stuff. It's just more time consuming, but it's worth it.
For sure.
It really is.
Thank you. You nailed it right on the head, because I'm already doing community theater and breaking out into other kinds of theater up in Toronto.
Okay, great.
So thank you.
You're welcome. And then come down to New York and spend 4 months and just audition the heck out of it. Audition as much as you can.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Hi.
So Once Upon a Time has explored so many different realms of the world. So my question is, if you had to choose one of them to live in, which one would you want to go to?
The Enchanted Forest, because I rule. No brainer. And I'll visit Oz just to hang out and have an appletini with my sis.
Do you still keep in touch with people from the cast?
Yes, I do. All of whom are here. And Rebecca, who's didn't be here right now, but we all know why. And yeah, Ginny, Josh, Jared, obviously.
Jamie Dornan?
No, I wouldn't say that. They're like, Jamie Dornan, I'm like, no. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi.
Hello. Okay, and once upon a time, there was a lot of different scenes and episodes that really focused on people getting accepted by family members. Also, Regina was looking for her mom to actually accept her for who she is. What advice would you give to us about trying to get acceptance from our family as well?
Oh, that's a tough one. So, what advice would I give to you to be accepted by your family? To how to get them to accept you?
Well, basically, like, what advice would you give us about, like, say for example, if like I'm sitting up here trying to get acceptance, and that's what I'm focusing on, and I'm focusing on the rest of my life, but solely focusing on that and trying to make them accept me for who I am, instead of living my life and not worrying about that.
Right. I think that when you come from a very vulnerable place and you speak from your heart and you express maybe how hurtful it is to you, like really speak from your heart. Like it really hurts me that I'm not being seen. It really hurts me that I'm not being accepted. You're important to me. I love you. You are my, whatever they are to you. And you're important to me. And this family is important to me. I think, it's not often when we're not being accepted or seen, we come from a place of anger. That doesn't really get us a lot of places. I know because I've come from a place of anger. Like, what do you mean? And it's like that didn't. The outcome is never what you want it to be. So I think it's like really trying to humble yourself and speak from your heart, and be creative maybe too. Like do something nice together. Take them somewhere that you share, a place that from your childhood that you love to do together. So you find that common ground, something that you connect on, and then open up from a vulnerable place and just say how important this is to you.
Thank you.
Yeah. I mean, I know some people have tried to do that and maybe it doesn't work. But I don't think you should stop. I think you should keep trying. And then if it gets to the point where it's really unhealthy for you and it's detrimental to your happiness and your health, then you have to make a different decision. And I'm not an expert. I'm not even claiming to be one. I'm not a psychologist. I just want to say that. But I do get asked these really intense questions. And I just hope that, I'm speaking from what feels right to me. So that's all. Thank you.
Hi, I just want to thank you and once for the storyline about the underworld and dealing with grief. My question is, what was it like playing that particular arc where you got to see them in the underworld? My dad passed away, so to this day, I've always appreciated when we deal with grief.
So you're speaking about the moment when Regina sends her father and mother off into the light?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just, and I'm also really interested in Greek mythology as well, so I just love that.
I mean, that's one of my favorite moments too. One of my favorite scenes is with her and her father at that graveyard in season 5. And I was so beyond elated when I read that scene in the script and thought, oh my God, there's closure. Because I always felt that there was like an emptiness. I never got to have that closure with my dad. My dad died very suddenly and tragically. However, I, for myself, found ways in the afterlife to continue to give back, like to have that connection somehow. So you can still have that, but it's through talking and intention and maybe even possibly hoping to dream about them and find that connection even with them in the afterlife. If you believe in that, you know, if that's, and I love that moment with her and her father that they were able to have that. I think it was so touching, it was beautiful to act, and I felt as the actress playing Regina that there was some completion in her life. So find a way to have that for yourself, and they don't have to go anywhere. They can live through music, they can live through memories, photos, doing something that you love to do with them. Keep them close always, and don't let them go too far. They're there.
Yeah, I'm a director too, so I use the arts as well. Thank you.
Hi.
Lana. I just want to say I love you very much.
Thank you.
And yesterday's panel with Alice and Girl Rob, and they were talking about having a baby and asking Regina to bippy boppy boo put it in her mouth. How do you think Regina would feel about doing that for them?
I mean, I'm my godmother, my fairy godmother.
You're their fairy godmother, technically.
Okay, sure. Who else wants to get pregnant? I mean, Boo. I mean, if you give me the right wand, I can make anything happen.
Is that what happened to Bex?
Oh, that's awesome. I mean, it was right there. It's like, hi.
Hi, Lana. It's great to see you again.
And you.
My question was kind of funny. So, if you could like poof anywhere, I want to poof. Like, I actually want to, but I can't. You know,
Yeah, I think we all do.
Yeah. So, if you could poof yourself anywhere, or if you had that ability, where would you poof yourself to?
At the end of a rainbow in a pot of gold. God, where would I poof myself to? Probably on a mountain somewhere with Lola. Yeah, like, I don't know, someone asked if I can clone myself, what would I do that? I'd say, yeah, but I would delegate. I'd be like, okay, you need to go do this now, you need to go do that, and you need to get on stage.
I will poof myself back to my beach house in like 5 seconds.
I might poof myself there too, actually.
Yeah, you are welcome anytime.
I would love to poof to anywhere where there's like a sandy beach, yeah.
Thank you, I love you.
Oh, thank you. James John, yes, my God. Okay, that's a good one. I have another question.
My question is, what character do you wish Regina could have interacted with more? Because there was a lot of characters that you didn't get.
Aaron Bird, Grumpy. I mean, seriously, that would have been more fun. But
I mean, I would have, just got my butt kicked like usual.
But he would have loved it. He did.
I secretly loved every minute of it. I was like, Vader me again, baby.
I remember when I named the Evo Regals, and he posted a picture. He was hiding his face, and he was like, Evo Regals.
Yeah, everyone used to write it on people right on
write it on their heads, and he was like,
don't let's go see it.
It was really funny. So yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Do you have time for one more?
Sure, we always got time for one more.
Hi. I just want to know, what's your favorite songs at the moment? Like, what are you bopping to lately?
Oh. What am I booping to?
Booping to.
I'm not booping to. Oh my God, so many different things.
Finish line's almost in sight. You're just gonna trip right at the end.
Because I listen to so many different things. I don't know. I've been listening to Hoiser a lot because I like them. Oh no, J.S. Andara, who's oh my God, it's not really kind of booping and jamming, but it's he's amazing. And I just saw him at the Troubadour. Oh my God, you guys, you would love him. J.S. Andara, Ondara. It's like country folk, but he's from Nairobi, and his voice is ridiculously beautiful. and I just saw him at the Troubadour like a week or so ago, and
he just sold 10,000 albums.
he just sold 10,000 albums. Welcome to jam.
Tweeting it.
No, but seriously, like I mean, if you're into that kind of stuff, I'm into a lot of different things. I'm also into there was something I posted. Too many things, guys. I can't think in moments like this. But check him out because he's really special, very special, and a voice of an angel.
All right.
So, all right, guys.
Guys, we did it. We made it to this line. Ladies and gentlemen, the incomparable Lana Maria! Love you, babe.
Love you guys. I'll see you in a bit. And then stay and listen to these guys rock out because I've been listening to these guys too and they're pretty fucking awesome. Yeah, so please, like, shake your booties for me.
All right.
Okay,
Thank
love
you,
you guys.
Lana.
Thank
Great
you.
job.
Thank you, guys.
All right. Well, how fun was that? We did it, my friends. We've reached the end of this stage portion of our weekend together.